Amy Walker, and this is your weekly solution. Really quick, y'all. I know that you're busy, so I'm going to be brief, but I wanted to go over why we do anything with infection control risk assessment when you are doing a project in a hospital. So there is a list of guidelines that you have to follow, and a really cool way that you can figure out exactly what type of containment items that you need to have when you are doing any type of work in a hospital, whether you're doing cabling, whether you're doing drywall dust, renovations, sandings, things like that. There is an awesome matrix to follow, and it really does help you because the safety officer at the hospital is going to know these guidelines, and it's really it's nationwide. Everybody knows that you have to follow the infection control guidelines when you're bidding a project or when you're doing work in a hospital. So really quickly, the Infection Control Risk Assessment Matrix. This is a matrix of precautions for construction and renovation. You are going to have type A through D, okay? And you're going to have to figure out what type of project you're actually doing. So the first step to the ICRA matrix is to figure out what type A, B, C, or D, okay? Once you determine that, you can go to step 2, which is then where you identify the patient risk. So when you're doing work in a hospital, you're going to obviously have patients that are either in oncology, they're going to be in a surgical unit, maybe they're in the ER, maybe it's babies and there's a pediatric unit or a neonatal unit really close to where you're working. You have to determine the risk. So once you do that, so once you say, okay, so step 1 is I'm going to be sanding, which is going to be type C. Then you move over to step 2, and I'm going to be doing it in labor and delivery area. So that's going to be the highest risk. And then you move on to step 3, which is going to then give you the class, which determines the precautions that you actually need to set up and follow during the project. So we determined that we were doing the sanding, which was type C. Then we determined that we're working in a labor and delivery, which was high risk. So you go to the high risk group. Then we are in type C. So we have to follow class 3 and 4. So when we do that, just to let you know, we find our class 4 on our ICRA matrix. And in that class, we have to do everything in our power to make sure that that containment dust does not go into other areas. So we're going to have to make sure that we have negative pressure. We're going to have to make sure that we're monitoring the area that we're working in. We're making sure we're donning and doffing, using our sticky mats. There are several different guidelines that you're going to have to follow for class 4. So I do want to let you know that we do have the ICRA matrix on our ICRA Solutions website. It is www.icrasolutions.com, and we will be happy to answer any questions that you may have or forward those to higher powers that are within the regulatory process of infection control. I appreciate it, and I hope that was a good solution for this week of May 22nd. Y'all have a good one.